reveal its intentions on the matter. Joining me now is Illinois Congressman Roger Krishnamoorthi, who joins me from Chicago. Let me ask you, first of all, just to react to the back and forth that we've seen over these last few days. You yourself went to Harvard Law School. Your reaction to the astonishing courtroom transcripts that we've seen about the degree to which lawyers for the Justice Department don't seem to know what the administration's plan is going forward, and I guess more broadly here, the fact that we don't know what the administration's plan is going forward.
Yeah, actually, yesterday on the 4th of July, I was hoping that the DOJ would declare their independence from President Trump on this issue. However, it looks like they are going back and forth just like the tweets are. I think that right now the president is creating chaos with regard to this particular census being printed and whether the citizenship question is going to be part of it. In the Oversight Committee on which I sit, Chairman Cummings has led a number of hearings showing that, the original reason for including the citizenship question, namely to, quote unquote, enforce the Voting Rights Act, was completely pretextual. And that's what the Supreme Court found as well. Is
it your sense this question will not make it to the piece of paper that every American is going to get? Do you think this is a dead issue?
I hope so, because the Constitution commands that every person be counted, regardless of whether they vote and regardless of their immigration status. And so the process of printing those census forms takes months. July 1st was the initial deadline, and so we're already in overtime now, although I'm told that surveys for the census are being printed without the citizenship question currently.
Our understanding as well. Let me ask you about the exchange that we saw on the debate stage at the NBC News debate just about a week ago and what's happened since. The former Vice President Joe Biden was asked about that exchange on the issue of busing in an interview on CNN. Let's take a listen to that exchange.
It's so easy to go back 30, 40, 50 years and take a context and take it completely context. And I mean, I get all this information about other people's past and what they've done and not done. And, I'm just not going to go there.
Were you prepared for them to come after you?
I was prepared for them to come after me, but I wasn't prepared for the person coming at me the way she came out. She knew Bo. She knows me.
Congressman, I want to get your reaction to the way that the Vice President sees his personal history, his political history. I'm not going to go there, he says. Do you think that this is a reasonable line of attack, something he should have to defend or at least talk about on the campaign trail, the issue of busing?
Well, I haven't been in presidential debates, but in my own congressional debates, my record has been fair game, and I think that perhaps his record should be fair game back to his time in the Senate. But I think that right now, I would respectfully suggest that folks like President Biden should take his record and his experience as well as his time with President Obama and then point to the way forward, because that's what people want to know. They want to know, what does tomorrow hold for me? In Chicago, we have a deep, entrenched history of housing segregation, which has led to tremendously unequal outcomes on everything from schooling, which busing was supposed to help with, to generally economic prospects and job prospects. So right now, I would respectfully submit that President Biden and others say, how do we lift up the economic aspirations of all these people and others going forward?
He was asked about how he would defend or reconcile his record on this issue. Let's take a listen to what he had to say about that.
You were not in favor of busing. It was a different time. There were different applications. Why not just own it and say, I was against it, but now I've changed?
I was in favor of busing that was de jure busing. Look, the question is, how do you equalize education in every area? And I put forward the most aggressive plan to do that, and I've been pushing it for a long time.
Final question here just about his approach to this issue and others, and that is a reluctance to apologize for things that have happened in the past. I just want to get your perspective in the minute we have left about how politicians should approach things from the past. Should they apologize?
I think it's perfectly acceptable to apologize, to say you were wrong, and this is why you've taken a different position. I think that not doing so will continue to kind of mire you in the past responses and prevent you from moving forward and presenting your vision for tomorrow.
All right, that's the Congressman from the 8th District.